Alright guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Ruben, and in today's one I thought I'd break down my stats on my two active top step accounts that I'm trading. Now for me this month's been quite good and I've been aiming for less, and as a result I've been getting more from the markets and more payouts. So this month so far, 3 payouts from 2 top step XFAs, that's just those 2 accounts. But I wanted to break down a few things. I wanted to break down my strategy, I wanted to break down my stats, and also how I end up staying level headed in these situations. You know, how I balance fear, how I balance greed, my strategy, the types of trades that I take, and all this stuff that I'm talking about today will be really relevant, whether you're trying to pass an eval, trying to pass a funded account, trying to trade a funded account, or trying to receive your second or first or third payout, whatever it might be. With that being said, guys, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into the video. Let's go. So firstly, I wanted to just discuss these stats, right? So you can see here, this is my first top step account that I'm trading on, the active account. The win rate currently is quite high. So I've taken 18 total trades. The win rate is 77%. That's my total P&L. Haven't had a losing day yet. Yes, it will come. There is a day where we'll have a losing day. These things will happen, or some losing streaks. These things will happen. But so far this month's been really nice. Profit factor sitting at 3.76. You can see the average win versus average loss is about a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Now here's the first point. I want to pause here for a sec. A 1-to-1 risk to reward often will yield a higher win rate. So for me, typically, my risk to reward's a little bit higher than that on average, and the win rate's a little bit lower. So on this account in particular, I said, look, I'm just gonna take one trade if possible. When it hits TP or when it hits a level I'm happy to take the money, I'm gonna run. That's it. In other accounts in the past, whether I've used, an expert account with my fund of futures or top step accounts in the past, I've always tried to take partials and always tried to hold runners. So these type of stats are completely achievable, and not everyone's going to get here to start. A lot of people think that you're going to have a 70% win rate, an 80% win rate from the get-go. I've spent years, guys, learning the process, and I spent months and months and months struggling to not making any money, no consistency. So you've got to put in the work, you've got to put in the time. And I will say this, that this month is really good of a month for me. It's like a really good month. So you can see here, I built my account up. First day, second day, third day. The first 3 days I actually used to build the buffer a bit more. So I went a bit more aggressive in terms of risk, 2 minis usually, and then I can start to tone it down as time goes on. Here's my first payout, then I built it up a little bit more. Here's the second payout, and now we're in the build phase again for the third time. It is tricky. It is tricky, right? Because if you aren't building the buffer on a top step account like I've been doing, and you aren't building it to 3 grand, to 4 grand, to 5 grand, you are gonna have the risk, and I do run the risk every single day, that a few losing trades or a losing streak could wipe out the account. Again, this is what I personally have done. It's worked. I've taken out 2 payouts from this account, and it's yielded an ROI that's quite nice. So look at this maybe as what you can achieve, not as what's going to happen every single month. Not every month is this good. Not every month is 70%. Some months are 50, some months are 60, some months might be 70, as we see here. But typically, yes, the lower the risk to reward that you have, the higher the win rate. And why is it the case? Because you're asking less from the market, and there's more chance that it'll get to that lower target. That's all it is. Even if you had a 60% win rate at a 1-to-1 risk to reward, you can still be very profitable. This is just a very good month for me. And again, it is attainable, but you've got to take less from the market. But the risk is this, right? The fact that I'm taking payouts with a very small buffer leaves me with a very small amount in my account. And unfortunately, that's the risk I take, that I'm happy to take, because I'm at the stage of my journey where I know I can pass evals. I know I can do it again. I know I can get to that funded stage. So for me, I'd rather take the money while it's there. I'd rather get those consistent payouts and take those base hits, right? So if we go down now, have a look at this. If we go down now, you can see that equity curve, which is completely fine. And then here is the stats based on the calendar, which a lot of people like to see. Now we can discuss this because I want you guys to have a look. There's been no more than 3 trades. There's been 3 trades here, 3 trades here, 3 trades here. Every other day has been 1 trade. 1 trade, 1 and done. That's it. Now, this has been a big shift in my mindset. A lot of people ask me, how many trades do you want to take a day? Well, ideally, obviously, everyone wants to take 1 trade a day, 1 trade, call it a day, and that'd be it. But it doesn't always work out that way. So these days where it took 3 trades, I took a loss to start. I took another trade that brought me back to break even. And then the final trade was one that brought me into profit. And that's how I run it. So when you're starting out, risk management is really important. And you can see those first 3 days, 1, 2, 3. Bigger winning days that built the buffer, and then from there, I've just kind of cruised. You can see here, 160, 160, 150, 190, 190, 120. This day here didn't even count as a buffer building day. It was a very choppy day, so I just took a little bit from the market and just said, look, this day will be for the buffer, and that's completely fine. And I've had 2 payouts in this account so far, which has yielded a lot of money in terms of ROI. The overall cost of this account was about 350 AUD. The overall profit I've pulled has been about 2,600. So it's quite a good return on investment when you consider these statistics. But this comes from years of practice, years of skill, years of learning, years of failure. It's not as easy as it might look on the screen here. And let me just show you the second account that I'm actively trading on. There's two accounts I'm actively trading on here. Here's the second account coming up. So second account here, you can see again, we've got the first week, I took the first payout. This day here, another small day, very small day on the 16th. And then we took a 124 trade here. Again, these two last days did not count for a payout, so to say. They didn't count as a winning day, but I see that as a buffer building or buffer building days, which are just as important. Don't negate the importance of building a buffer in the market. It's so important, guys. A lot of people think they have to make money every single day that's big. It's not the case. Run your own race, right? And this statistic, if you want to have a look here, this statistic here, 70% win rate, again, 1-to-1 risk to reward, profit factor a little bit less. You can see how I've built it up, a bit more aggressive to start, take the payout, and then build it up again. And that's my strategy. So risk management for me, a little bit more aggressive to start, take the risk early on. I don't want to be in 5 days or 4 days, right? 1 day away from the payout. I do not want to be risking big. I want to secure the base here, take the payout, and then move on. But at the start of the account, when the account is very fresh, that is where for me, most of the risk comes on, because I know if I go into drawdown, that I can get another account, I can pass another eval, and I haven't wasted too much time or too much money. But getting into day 4, getting into day 6, right, just before a payout, and then taking a really crazy trade that doesn't work for you, it's going to cause you a lot of pain mentally, and you're going to blow up, right? And I've learned the hard way many, many times in that situation. So here is obviously the dashboard for both the accounts. Really good statistics here for the month of September. But again, guys, this comes from months and months and months of collecting data, building good habits, and sticking to the process. Who cares what other people are doing? Who cares what someone on social media is doing? Who cares what I'm doing? If you're watching this, focus on yourself, focus on building a buffer, focus on following your rules. You know, there's always going to be questions. There's always going to be what ifs and what ifs and what ifs that. But you've got to have solutions to those questions. If you focus on problems, you're going to have more problems. If you focus on solutions, you're going to come up with more solutions. So where your focus goes, or where your attention goes, your energy will flow. And that is how I run my trading business. It's a business. I'm here to make money. I'm here to make consistent money. I'm here to pull out more money than I spend on the eval challenges. So yes, these accounts, they cost $350 each to pass all in activation. And yes, this account so far I've pulled out about 1,400 AUD. The other account about 2,500. So yes, it's profitable, but you need to keep that ball rolling. You know, you don't want to blow up and bust. And taking less from the market is a big key that I've told myself with these accounts. Take less. Take the money, run, lock yourself out, come back on the next day. And that is as simple as I can put it. And it's tricky, you know, in reality, it's tricky. You get to the 4th day, you know, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, you know in your head psychologically, all you need is one more day to get a payout. And yes, it can be tricky sometimes, but you've got to be able to manage that fear and manage that greed. And you've got to trade each day individually, because each day and each trade is independent of one another. So yes, you could have a really good day one day. The next day could be really bad. You don't know. The market can do what the market wants to do. So all we can do is follow the process that we know works. Follow our edge. That's all we can do. And if the market gives you less than expected, that's okay. If the market gives you more than expected, that's also okay. But you've got to work on staying neutral and keep your dopamine levels neutral. If you're from my Discord or you're on YouTube here watching this video, you know that I'm not that energetic when it comes to winning or losing. I'm very neutral. I'm very neutral when it comes to that, because I don't really believe in getting hopped up and hyped up after taking a massive win. It feels great, but if you have too much elation, then on the downside, when you lose, you're going to have too much depression. But you want to keep things neutral, right? Keep things neutral. Approach the markets every single day, not expecting to take a trade. Don't expect to take that 5th trade and take that winning trade. Just trade what you see in the market. Trade what comes to you. And if a setup comes to you, you take it. If it wins, great. If it loses, journal it, move on, look for another setup. And that's it. And that's the process. So with that, guys, I'm going to conclude the video here. If you haven't already, go and follow me on Twitter, Full View Trading. If you want to access my free Discord, free resources, Full View Trading has quite a bit on my Twitter, but also my free Discord. I've got an A+ checklist there that helps you siphon out the good setups from the bad setups. And hopefully this helps, you know, shows you what's possible. I'm just a regular person. I put in the work. I struggled for months. It wasn't easy, you know, and I look back and it feels like it was yesterday, really, back in 2023, literally collecting notes, writing notes, watching ICT. But you probably have enough. You probably have enough to succeed. What is stopping you is you. And that's what I've realized for myself. You know, it wasn't the strategy. It wasn't that. It was me. It was my fear. It was my greed. It was me not implementing my strategy. It was me trying to chase the money. It was me trying to come from a position where I needed to make the money. And you don't want to be in that position. You want to be trading where even if you don't make money, it's okay. Yes, we're here to make money, but if you trade to make money and that's your only goal, you're going to lose money in the long run. And that's what I found the hard way when I first started to trade. It'll take way longer than expected, way longer, but you've got to be in for the process. Put in the work and you will see success. Take your time with it, run your own journey. It's not a race, it's more of a marathon, and take it each day. Play it by ear, see what happens. And you'll see success in the long run. You just got to put in the work and you'll see success. With that being said, guys, hope everyone's had a good week. Obviously, FOMC is out now. And if you're in my Discord, I'll see you guys today for our live stream in Zoom. Peace.